Last lesson we learned how to build chords using the semitone counting method. We're going to expand on that method today and learn how to voice for a keyboard. We have a few restrictions we'd like to work around when doing some keyboard voicing. The first is in the treble clef, we should not be going above a B. And in our bass, we'd like to keep our notes on the stage. So we don't want to be using any ledger line notes. A B and an F are perfectly fine though. There are a few reasons for this. We like to keep our treble clef quite low so that we don't interfere with any melodies we may be accompanying. In the bass clef, we like to keep it relatively high so that we can work together with the treble. When you have notes closer together, the chord sounds richer and the quality is more understood. When they're further apart, the quality of the chord gets lost. My first example for today is using the F minor chord. So first up, we want to put our bass note or root of the chord in the bass clef. In this case, it's an F. So we've got two options. We can choose to put it on this line here, or we can put it down below the stave. I'm going to choose to put it on this one here, as we have more scope for further bass lines. If I put it down here, we could only go up in our bass line. In our treble clef, we need 3 notes. Luckily, an F minor chord has 3 notes in it, so we can use all 3 of those notes. So we start with an F. In our last lesson, we learned to build our thirds before considering accidentals. So a third above F is an A, and a third above A is a C. However, we don't want to put it up here, as that goes above our middle B. Instead, we're going to invert the chord and put the C below. Alright, now we use our semitone counting method to work out any accidentals. For a minor chord, we can record 3, then 4. So we start at our F and count up 3 semitones. F to F sharp to G, G to D sharp. Now G sharp is the same as an A flat. And as we've got an A in here, we choose to use the A flat. So I can add in that flat sign there. From A flat, we count up 4 semitones. A flat to B flat, to B, to C. So we are then going to C. So we do not have to add any accidentals. Okay, so that's great for triads, but if we're extending to 7th chords, we need to do something a bit differently in the treble. I'm going to use F minor 7 as our next example, as it will be easy to compare to our first one. Alright, our semitone counting method for a minor 7 chord is 3, 4, then 3. Once again, I'll write that above, just so that we can remember. You can use that sheet that we worked on last lesson to help you remember these. We are going to keep our bass note the same. There's no reason for that to change. This time in our treble clef, instead of using the 1, 3 and 5 notes, we're going to use 3, 5 and 7, the 3rd, the 5th and the 7th. So 3rd above F is an A flat. We can already write in the flat sign because we have just done an F minor chord previously. Otherwise, I would just be writing in an A here. A 3rd above A flat is a C. Once again, I'll put it down here. And a 3rd above a C is an E. Once again, we have to consider our semitone counting method. We know the 3 and the 4 are already correct as we have just done them. But the 3, however, we'll need to work out that one. So we start on our C, which is the last note that we worked on, and we'll count up 3 semitones. To D sharp, to C sharp, to D sharp, which is the same as an E flat. So we can add in our flat sign right here. To see if we're happy with this chord, we compare it to our previous chord. Our A flat stays the same. Our C stays the same. The only note that changes is an F to an E flat. Now this is ideal for a keyboard piano player because it means they only have to change one of their fingers. And and it's also going to sound very smooth. Last chord we're going to consider is A flat dominant 7. Now our semitone counting method for this one uses 4, 3, 3. Here we start with our bass note, which in this case is going to be A flat. I'm going to choose to go up instead of down because a third is closer than a sixth. So let's use this A flat right here. Okay, so now we need to add in our thirds. Third above A flat is a C, third above C is an E, and a third above E is a G. Now we need to consider our accidentals. So let's count 4 semitones up from A flat to A, to B flat, to B, to C. So C natural, that's what we have there, we can keep that. Now we count 3 semitones up from a C, to C sharp, to D sharp, which is the same and harmonically as E flat. So we need to add in our flat sign. Now we go from E flat to E, to F sharp, which is the same as a G flat. Now, if you can't remember what a keyboard looks like, it's a good idea to have that sheet you used yesterday to count your semitones. Alright, so we just do one final check before we move on. We like to see that we've got as many notes the same as possible. Our C is the same, which is great. Our E flat is the same. And our A flat only moves down one tone, which is pretty good. A piano player would be really happy with that. So now I'd like you to all have a go. You've all got your worksheets, and feel free to ask any questions.